but I've been asked to do a very short summation before we finish. I can't go past the SHRFV as your acronym. I think that I've heard many funny acronyms in this sector over the years, but that one takes the cake. So well done to all of you for coming to the SHRFV statewide forum. I do hope you found it challenging and inspiring in equal measure. I certainly have. I hope as practitioners that you have got both of those things. We are, in a big picture sense, still, I think, in a very special moment in time. I mean, Rosie is one symbol of that, as in Batty. There's a couple of Rosies, but Rosie Batty is one symbol of that. But it is a bigger moment in time where family violence is on the agenda. And even though this work is really hard and there is backlash, and it can be really personally and professionally difficult, it is a really special moment. See, backlash, patriarchy. It is a really special moment in time, and these initiatives are part of that. I think we hopefully can remember today to step back from our work and remember that the progress is real. It's not perfect. Nothing is when it comes to humans, and certainly humans' behaviour change, but the progress is real. I started today talking about my grandmas. I did that for a reason. They could not have imagined in their wildest dreams this event. And I think all of you can understand. Most of us who worked in the sector 20 or 30 years ago couldn't have imagined this event, let alone generational change. But also one of the strong themes that's come through is that you all need to remember that this is hard and will take a toll on you, and probably already has. That doesn't mean we want you to leave. That means we want you to be looked after by your employers and to be looked after by yourself and by each other. I was talking to Carolyn after the panel we did, and she said how she got put on the spot to name the things that she does at a different forum to look after herself, and she asked me to do the same. So I'll share them with you. This is absolutely true. This is quite vulnerable for me to do, but I think it's important for us to name these things. Obviously, I spend time with my kids, my family. I have dogs. If you don't have dogs, what is wrong with you? Like, seriously. Labradoodle, stupidest dog on earth, and a tiny rescue poodle who hates everyone except me, okay? This is like the joys of my life. Obviously, friends are very, very important. Having distance from these issues, and I say that seriously. I say unashamedly, I watch the Kardashians. I'm all over Survivor. I will watch shit TV from now until Wednesday if I need to decompress from this event. Telling the truth is really important, and I really have tried to make a commitment to myself to do that. If someone asks me, and I don't care if it's on the radio, I have done this on the radio, how are you? And I'm not okay, I say I'm not okay. And we've got to do that for each other. There's no good pretending that everything's okay and we're just going to suck it up. Sunlight, I did not appreciate how important, until you spend winters in Melbourne, how important sunlight is. And for me, water. And it'll be different for other people. It doesn't matter if it's a bath or being near the beach, but that just calms me down. You find your own things. I say this with no judgment, but several of you said to me today, I can't wait for 1 o'clock. I drink. I have no issue with drinking, but I also know in all seriousness that if we all go home and drink every night to deal with the stuff that we're dealing with, it's going to come back on us or no one else. It's not going to work out in the long run. The other things I think we've all learned today, no one-size-fits-all approach works because you're dealing with different communities and different issues. And one other thing I really, really hope you take away is the reminder that this is expert work, that you can't just run in and have a go. You can't, when you hear in the media and talk back and so on, people just having a crack, I've got a few ideas, that's not how, the research is there. We know how to do this properly. Another request, I think more than anything on my behalf, is that we do have to approach this somewhat in a humble way And by that I mean, as bloody frustrating as it is, most people aren't thinking about family violence every day, and they're not thinking about gender equity, and they haven't read all the books, and they haven't watched all the shows and learned all the things, and they are at different places in their journey, what an awful word, but journey than what most of the people in this room are. That's different to outright resistance. That's different to backlash. That just means they don't know any better yet, as patronising as that sounds. And finally, a special request to me. We've heard about the need to get men involved. I think that's absolutely true. But can I also put out a special request, since it's, what are we, probably 95% women, that we have to look after each other. I don't know about you, but if I get, some crazy troll on Twitter kind of going, oh, you fat slag, and you're like, yeah, it's awful. But the worst thing is when someone that I consider an ally has a go. The worst thing is when someone like you, not that we can't be critical of each other, but when those of us who are all trying to achieve the same thing get too hard on each other, it wears us down. So let's be nice to each other as well. On that note, the Royal Women's Hospital, you are absolutely a leading light in this area, and we all appreciate the work that you're doing in this area, in the public space, but also on the ground. Thank you for having, this is the third forum. May there be many more, and then none once we've solved all the problems. But thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.